Ready for the video?
I'm ready.
Let's do it.
The wisdom. But you know, I had
me.
been able to do that is to do things.
You're still looking like a 25-year-old.
I wish.
On,
Trust
you
me.
are.
I just shaved.
Wonder why he's like able to do that for so long. And if you actually watch his documentary, it talks about like how he
Present practice. What's conscious? This is Vish and
Ben Ballard.
And today we'll be responding to Sadhguru's video on
The interview with Tom Brady and Jim Gray.
My name is Vish and I'm an aspiring yogi, love all things wisdom, meditation, yoga based. Super grateful to have Ben here on the show. Want to introduce yourself?
I'm Ben Ballard. I'm a quarterback at Texas, and I'm from Austin.
Thanks for being here, Ben. Have you heard of a guy named Sadhguru by any chance?
I haven't.
I'm guessing you know who Tom Brady is?
I do.
Sweet, me too. One of my favorite quarterbacks of all time.
Let's get into the video.
I think so many of these systems are set up. They're just on repeat too, you know, those cycles. I think I look at my career, right? 22 years. There's not anyone that's played my position at my age. And I think the only way that I've been able to do that is to do things.
You're still looking like a 25-year-old.
I wish.
On,
Trust
you
me.
are.
I just shaved. So I was very, I came
Why'd
in
you grow a
touch.
beard like that, Tom?
I just shaved mine. Mine was great, you know, because I'm around 22-year-olds all day, and I gotta, you know, I don't want my gray beard, but I love Sadhguru's beard. That's it shows a lot of wisdom. But you know, I had
me.
I think so many of these systems are set up. They're just on repeat too, you know, those cycles. I think I look at my career, right? 22 years. There's not anyone that's played my position at my age. And I think the only way that I've been able to do that is to do things.
You're still looking like a 25-year-old.
I wish.
On,
Trust
you
me.
are.
I just shaved. So I was very, I came
Why'd
in
you grow a
touch.
beard like that, Tom?
I just shaved mine. Mine was great, you know, because I'm around 22-year-olds all day, and I gotta, you know, I don't want my gray beard, but I love Sadhguru's beard. That's it shows a lot of wisdom. But you know, I had
me.
Be with us. Ride with me.
So Ben, after watching this video, just to add in a little bit of context, Tom actually talks about how he does a few things which are actually not the typical norm of what I think the fitness industry talks about and recommends, and that is kind of the secret to his maybe young look and even just being able to play for so long, and maybe his whatever other skills that he's able to maintain. What are your thoughts after, I guess, before getting to too much of that, what are your thoughts and first impressions of this video itself after just watching?
So, well, while at the beginning of the video, he talked about how he was 44, like still playing. And I think people wonder why he's like able to do that for so long. And if you actually watch his documentary, it talks about like how he does things every day, and he spends like millions of dollars on his body like a year.
That's a lot of money, wow.
Yeah, and so like, I think the reason why he's done it for so long is because, in such a high level too, is because I think it's just the way he takes care of himself and his just love for the game in general. So you should definitely check out the documentary if you've never seen it. It's pretty good.
What is that called, by the way?
I'm not sure exactly, but
We'll look for it.
you can just look up Tom Brady documentary on like YouTube or something, and you'll find it. It'll pop right up. So.
Got you, Ben. Well, I appreciate you sharing that. And so for those of you watching, if you know the documentary that Ben is talking about, please comment down below. And and so, Ben, I appreciate you sharing that perspective on this. And it's, I think, super important to really just, you know, value your health. Because as I've learned from my journey with just everything, right? If you don't have your physical, mental health in check, you can't do anything in life. Those are super important.
When you look at the rest of the league, there's guys retiring at like age between 35 and like late 30s, and this guy is able to do it like five or however many years longer. Like, to me, it just kind of goes to show you like you are capable of doing it if you just invest in doing it. So I think that's cool.
Most definitely, man. How many years do you think he got more in the game?
I don't know, but it seems like he could go till he's like 50 if he wanted to. Just looking in great shape and everything. So
Yeah, exactly. Even just how
there's no telling.
you never know. And exactly pointing off of what Sadhguru had mentioned too, which was how he looks so young, right? And like, you know, like a 20-something, 25-year-old. And again, going back to this point, which I mentioned earlier with part of the context for the video where time essentially is not really for the traditional forms of care and even fitness and even health that's recommended by the industry. What are your thoughts on that? Did you learn anything or did he mention any of that in the documentary?
Yeah, he talks about like everything that he does. Like, I mean, for guys like my age, like we always lift weights and stuff, but he's kind of learned as you get older, like it's probably smarter to like not lift heavy. And I guess I think that's another reason why he's been playing so long. He just like adjusts to however old he is. So that's what I got from it too.
So it's more about like, would you say flexibility and malleability?
Yeah, mobility. He just like, he keeps like he has like an itinerary of things he does every day. And he just sticks to it all the time. So I think when you do those certain things consistently, like you'll have success and you'll do what you want to do. So.
Yeah, making that your routine, making your, as I like to call it, the non-negotiables every single day. The discipline is going to be very important. Ben, talk to us. Being a quarterback for UT or Texas, how important is discipline as a pro athlete, and how important is nutrition?
Oh yeah, I mean nutrition is like the main thing that you're supposed to do like during the season, because if you're not eating right, then you're not going to be ready to go on game day or whatever. I think if you're not disciplined, then like you're not going to make it to the next level, because that's what kind of separates one guy from another guy, because not everybody is disciplined. So, I mean, I would say if you're disciplined when it comes to this sport, like you can go as far as you want. Cause
what are your tips for, because I think discipline is something that applies to everything, right? Whether it's a sport or a job, or, I mean, it doesn't matter what you do. I think the key is discipline is a very important part of that. What are your tips for someone that's wanting to get more disciplined?
Honestly, like, I know you're gonna tell yourself don't do this, but just like if let's say you have like class and then you gotta lift and you have to go practice, like then you have to go do homework, like don't not do anything. Like your body's gonna tell you, I'm not gonna go do this, I'm not gonna do that, but like you just gotta tell yourself every day, like I'm gonna do this or I'm gonna do that, because like in the end that's what'll make you successful. Just tell yourself to just do it. Like don't think about it, just do it.
I love that. No, I agree. Don't think about it. I think the amount of time we tend to take thinking about stuff, if we were to just do stuff, we could get so much more done, you know, and it's, you know, it's very important to not live in your head, and especially in the game. Tell us about this, in the actual game itself, when you're on the field, how important is it to think versus not think, and then versus just do, you know what I mean?
I just think if you have like a certain focus, you won't think about the crowd or how good the other team is. Like you're just gonna be focused on that next play, like, and you're not, like once you get focused like that, then I think like that's when you'll be successful on the field. If you think too much, then it's gonna affect your play, because I mean you might get antsy, whatever it is. Like I just think that if you are truly just have that certain focus to you, then I think you'll do great, honestly.
The goal is focus, from what you're saying.
Focus for sure. If you're in a game and practice, like that's how you're gonna get better, is however good your focus is. So.
Makes sense, man. I appreciate you sharing that as well. And going off of that, you mentioned before, like lifting heavy is something he doesn't recommend. Is that true?
Yeah, because I mean, when he was in college, he did it just like everyone else. Talks about that in the documentary as well. And then, I mean, as he's gotten older, like he's just gotten more flexible, basically, and that's kind of how that's what it seemed like to me in the video, that he emphasized a lot, was just adjusting to his body, how it's feeling. So
makes sense. And does he do yoga, or what kind of mobility stuff are we talking about here?
He has like a stretch, like a guy. He's on a table. He's like a massage guy. So He was big on that, and then just like he stretches every day, like, and then in the summer, like he'll lift like light, but it won't be like anything that would hurt him or anything. So I thought that was cool.
No, I agree with that, man. Even so I do lift myself a little heavy, but I don't go every day. I just do like 3 to 4 days in the gym. And
I mean, you can do that now because you're young, you know, but just when you get older, you probably shouldn't do that anymore, you know?
makes sense. I mean, 'cause I think at that point it's your joints and stuff that could get hurt, right? And so I agree with that too. And it's super important to think more in the long term, not just the short term.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us today, especially the younger guys like us, we tend to maybe focus a lot more on the looks and how we look physique-wise, but just because you look good on the outside doesn't mean you look on the inside. And so I think Tom is a great testament. I remember seeing actually this reel tape way back of when he was like trying out, and physically he was not in great shape at all, right? Have you seen that?
Yeah, but like, if you look at let's look at all the quarterbacks that have played for a long time, they're not the most like physically gifted, honestly. Like, and usually they're the ones that like aren't running quarterbacks, honestly. Like, I just think that's pretty cool how that works, is they're just more focused on what's best for them. Like, a lot of times that's just mobility rather than being huge.
Exactly. No, I think that, and that applies to everywhere else too, right? With whatever you're doing. So I guess real quickly, just to kind of wrap this up, what are your thoughts, Ben, on this this industry of for example, it seems like from what Tom said, what you're mentioning, it's very focused on getting big and lifting heavy and maybe eating like high volumes of food and so on. Yeah. What are your thoughts on that kind of message that the industry is giving athletes?
I mean, you definitely like should be big enough, but like I think when you're in the NFL, at least, like I don't think everyone's big on like being huge. When you're a quarterback, it's more just like
skill.
Yeah, just skill. Like that's what quarterbacks work on, honestly, more than anything else, is just their skill, and just like being good in good enough shape to make it like a whole season every year. So that's what I would have to say about that.
Awesome, Ben. Well, thank you so much for being here, Ben. You did great. Really appreciate you being here today. And do you want to let the viewers know where they can find you?
You can find me on Instagram, Snapchat. My username is Ben_Ballard_5. So
all this stuff will be down below. Yeah, if you have any other video reaction requests or topics or guests that you want to see on the show, you can also comment down below. With that, make a great day, take it joyful, and stay conscious. Awesome job, Ben. You did great.
thank you.
Awesome.